Your AC bill this month is lying to you. Not about the total. The total is real. But the cause? That part is wrong. Most people look at a high summer electric bill and think, the AC ran too much. So they turn the thermostat up a degree, they run it less. They suffer through the afternoon heat, and the bill barely moves. Because the AC was never the problem. Your windows are the problem. Right now, every south-facing and west-facing window in your home is working like a solar oven. Glass lets shortwave radiation in. It does not let the heat back out. Your AC kicks on to fight heat that your windows invited inside, and it runs and runs and runs. The Department of Energy puts a number on this. 25 to 30% of your entire cooling bill comes from heat entering through windows. What the industry calls solar heat gain coefficient, or SHGC, measures exactly this. $1 in $3 gone because of glass. Japan solved this problem 1,400 years ago with a passive cooling strategy that costs $15, hangs outside your window in 10 minutes, and stops the heat before it ever touches the glass. It is called a Sudare. By the end of this video, you will have one on order, you will know exactly where to put it, and you will understand why every window covering sold at Home Depot works on the wrong side of the glass. Stay with me. Here's the thing about the blinds and curtains already on your windows. They are not useless, they block light, they give you privacy. But as a cooling tool, they are almost completely ineffective. And the reason why exposes everything wrong with how Americans think about window heat. When sunlight hits your window, it passes through the glass first. At that moment, it is still shortwave radiation, visible light and near-infrared energy moving fast. Your curtain on the inside cannot stop what has already come through. The glass absorbs some of it, the floor absorbs some of it, the furniture absorbs it, and then all of that absorbed energy radiates back off those surfaces as heat. Long-wave radiation, which cannot escape back through the glass. You have now sealed it inside your home. A curtain in that scenario is not stopping heat. It is trapping heat in a slightly smaller zone near the window. Your AC is still fighting it. It is just fighting it 2 feet from the glass instead of 10. The Department of Energy's own research makes this explicit. Interior window treatments, blinds, curtains, roller shades reduce solar heat gain by 10 to 23%. That is what every product in the $31 billion window covering market actually delivers. 10 to 23%. An exterior shade, something that intercepts solar radiation before it ever hits the glass, reduces heat gain by 45 to 77%. Energy Star recommends exterior shading for southern climate zones for exactly this reason. The NFRC rates window attachments for energy performance, and exterior solutions consistently outperform interior ones. That gap is not a small technical difference. It is the difference between doing something and actually solving the problem. The entire American window treatment industry sells interior solutions, not because they work better, because they are easier to package, easier to ship, and easier to install without a ladder. Japan never made that trade-off. A Sudare is a screen made from thin horizontal strips of bamboo, woven together with cotton cord into a flexible panel that rolls up like a blind. It hangs on the outside of the window, not the inside. Outside. That single difference, outside instead of inside, is worth $100 to $300 on your annual electric bill. The bamboo slats are spaced with gaps between them. Typically 30 to 40% of the screen is open space, so air moves through freely. The breeze still gets into your home. The heat does not, because the bamboo absorbs and deflects the solar radiation before it reaches the glass. The glass stays cooler. The room stays cooler. The AC cycles less. The bill goes down. No electricity, no refrigerant, no monthly subscription. A piece of woven bamboo doing the one job that matters, blocking heat at the source. The word Sudare appears in the Manyoshu, Japan's oldest poetry anthology, compiled in the 8th century. The reference is casual. It was already an ordinary household object by the time the poem was written. Kyoto's traditional machiya townhouses were built around this principle. Long overhanging eaves to limit direct sun. Sudare on every south and west-facing window from May through September. Interior airflow designed to pull cooled air through the building front to back. Some of those buildings are still standing, still lived in. In many of them, the cooling strategy has not changed in 300 years. Not because Japan had no other options, because nothing that came later worked better. The Sudare is not a tradition, it is a result. 14 centuries of hot, humid summers produced the most effective low-cost window cooling system ever designed, and it costs $24 at current Amazon prices. The only reason it is not on your windows right now is that nobody who profits from your electric bill or your annual blind replacement has any interest in telling you it exists. If this is new to you, like button right now. 1 second. It is the only way YouTube shows this to someone who needs it. And if you want the rest of what Japan figured out, subscribe. 3 new videos every week, now. Why bamboo specifically and not metal, plastic, or fabric? 3 reasons, and they are all physics. First, thermal conductivity. Bamboo is a poor conductor of heat with a thermal conductivity of just 0.03 to 0.08 watts per meter Kelvin. When solar energy hits a bamboo slat, the bamboo absorbs it, but transfers almost none of that heat to the air passing through the screen. The slat warms up. The air next to it stays cool. A metal Venetian blind does the opposite. Metal is an excellent thermal conductor. When solar energy hits an aluminum slat, the slat heats up fast and radiates that heat directly into the air gap between the blind and the window. You have just created a convection current of hot air right at your window, and your AC is now fighting heat your own window covering is generating. You paid for the blind. The blind is making your problem worse. That is the window treatment industry in one sentence. Second, the air gap. A Sudare hangs 2 to 4 inches in front of the glass, not pressed against it. That gap allows air to circulate on both sides of the screen. The window itself stays closer to outdoor ambient temperature instead of acting as a radiant heat surface inside your room. On a 95-degree afternoon, a bare west-facing window with no shading can reach surface temperatures of 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit on the interior side. A Sudare installed with a proper air gap keeps that same window surface 20 to 30 degrees cooler. This effectively increases your window's thermal resistance, or R value, by creating an insulating air layer. Your AC does not have to fight a 140-degree wall. It fights a 110-degree wall instead. That difference shows up on your bill every single month of summer. Third, the open weave. 30 to 40% open space means airflow is never blocked. Every other exterior shading solution, solid awnings, exterior shutters, blackout screens, either blocks the breeze entirely or costs 10 times more. Bamboo gives you the shade without the airlock. 3 properties, one $15 screen, 14 centuries of proof that the combination works. Search Amazon for Sudare bamboo blind or Japanese exterior bamboo shade. Price range $10 to $30 depending on size. Look for natural bamboo construction, not vinyl, not plastic imitation. The bamboo version lasts 4 to 6 seasons. For windows wider than 36 inches, buy 2 panels and hang them side by side. South-facing and west-facing windows first. These receive direct sun between noon and 6 p.m. Peak cooling hours, peak electricity cost. If you can only buy 1 Sudare, put it on the west-facing window of whichever room has your thermostat. That single placement directly affects when your AC turns on in the afternoon. North-facing windows almost never need treatment. East-facing windows get morning sun only. Lower intensity, shorter duration, less impact on afternoon cooling costs. 2 small cup hooks under $2 at any hardware store, screwed into the exterior wall or window trim directly above the frame. Hang the Sudare so it sits 2 to 3 inches in front of the glass, not flush against it. That air gap is functional, not aesthetic. Total installation time, 10 minutes per window. Total tools required, a screwdriver. If you cannot drill into an exterior wall, tension rod mounts designed for exterior window frames hold lightweight Sudare without permanent installation. Search tension curtain rod exterior mount. 0 marks when removed. A retired teacher in Tucson, Arizona installed 2 Sudare on her west-facing living room windows in June of last year. Her July electric bill came in $94 lower than the previous July. Same house, same AC unit, same thermostat setting, 2 pieces of bamboo on 2 windows. She bought a third one for the bedroom in August. The average American homeowner replaces their window blinds every 5 to 7 years. At $30 to $150 per window, across a typical home with 12 to 15 windows, that is $360 to $2,250 every replacement cycle. A purchase that delivers, at best, 23% of the heat reduction it claims to provide. The window covering market is a $31 billion industry built almost entirely on a product installed on the wrong side of the glass. Nobody in that industry funds research into exterior bamboo shading. Nobody lobbies for building codes that incentivize exterior shades. Nobody runs Super Bowl ads for a $15 screen that lasts 6 years and requires no replacement parts. The Sudare generates no recurring revenue. It has no patent. It cannot be improved, rebranded, or sold in a subscription model. It is just bamboo and cord, and it works better than everything they are selling you. The Sudare is not special because it is Japanese. It is special because it solves the problem at the source, not downstream, not inside the room after the heat has already entered, at the glass before it gets in. That principle, stop the problem before it starts, is the thread running through everything on this channel. And here is where it goes next. There is something sitting under your kitchen sink right now that most American households spend $400 to $600 a year replacing. A mineral that Japanese households have used for over 1,000 years does the same job for $2 a month. It does not foam. It does not smell like a mountain spring. It does not glow under fluorescent light. It just works. That video is right here. Watch it.